I'm Mathea Montalban and I'm from BSN 2A. Today, I will be discussing ineffective uterine force. But, before we start, let's take a moment to have a quick recap about some key concepts closely related to our topic. So first, we have the uterine contractions. So, alam naman natin na this is the basic force that moves the fetus through the passageway. And it occurs because of the interplay between several factors such as contractile enzymes or proteins, yung major electrolytes natin, yung epinephrine and norepinephrine, oxytocin, and other hormones. So, for the second concept, we have here the dysfunctional labor. Ito yung term na ginagamit natin kapag yung labor, yung force niya is lesser than usual. So, depende sa occurrence, meron siyang dalawang classifications. First is the primary, kung saan nag-occur siya on the onset of labor, and secondary if medyo later in labor na nag-occur siya. Pero regardless, if yung contractions is either mabagal or mabilis or uncoordinated, lahat sila nagko-contribute sa occurrence ng prolonged labor. Here we have on our screens records sa uterine contraction monitor. And meron ako nilagay na tatlo, normal, hypotonic, and hypertonic. So, sa normal, we can see na merong pagbaba and then pagtaas, pagbaba, pagtaas, pagbaba, pagtaas. So, nakikita natin yung resting tone and yung strength. While sa hypotonic, almost lahat is medyo nasa baba, and sa hypertonic naman is lahat sila raised and walang nasa baba. So, later in our discussion, makikita natin kung bakit ganito yung lumalabas sa uterine contraction monitor. So, let's start with hypotonic contractions. So, based from the term hypo, we already have an idea kung tungkol saan ba tong hypotonic contractions. So, basically, these are infrequent contractions na naglalak ng intensity and therefore is not super duper painful. So, when does it occur? It may occur after analgesia administration, multiple gestation dahil na-overstretch ang uterus, fetus larger than usual for the same reason, and hydramnios. So, let's take note that since nga mayroong lack of intensity ang hypotonic contractions, mas marami tuloy na contractions ang kailangan para ma-achieve yung cervical dilatation. Therefore, nag-i-increase or humahaba yung length or duration ng labor. And if napagod ang uterus, pwedeng hindi na siya mag-contract as effectively during the postpartal period. So, since ka hindi na siya nagko-contract masyado postpartal period, nai-increase yung chance na magkaroon yung patient ng postpartal hemorrhage. Kaya, sa nursing considerations natin, very important na magpalpate tayo ng uterine fundus and obtain natin yung BP, i-monitor natin yon and ma-assess natin yung lochia every 15 minutes for the first hour para ma-ensure natin na yung contractions niya after giving birth is hindi hypotonic. So, next type of contraction we have is the hypertonic contractions. So, dito, frequent naman yung contractions niya compared sa hypotonic wherein infrequent doon. Pero, yung intensity ng contraction is not necessarily stronger doon sa hypotonic contraction. So, bale medyo similar lang sila ni hypertonic. So, when does it occur? So, it may occur if more than one uterine pacemaker ang nag-stimulate ng contraction or walang relaxation between contractions. And because of that, yung hypertonic contractions, mas painful siya than usual. Kasi, sa kakulangan ng relaxation, nagiging tender yung myometrium. So, isa rin yun sa danger ng hypertonic contractions kasi yung kakulangan sa resting periods between contraction, pwede siyang makaka-affect sa blood flow sa placenta. Eh, di ba yung placenta, yun yung source of oxygen and nutrients ng baby. So, syempre, this can lead to fetal distress. Kaya, sa nursing considerations natin, sama yung pag-monitor ng fetal status. So, i-apply natin yung uterine and fetal external monitor para matignan yung kung adequate ba yung resting phase between contractions and if normal pa ba yung fetal heart rate. So, pwede nating i-consider yung cesarean birth if magkaroon ng abnormality sa FHR or if prolonged yung first stage of labor and if may lack of progress with pushing during labor. So the next and the last type of contraction we have is the uncoordinated contractions. This type of contraction is described as erratic. So itong contraction na to, initiated siya by more than one pacemaker. So erratic siya because pwedeng merong periods na yung contraction is sunod-sunod like one on top of another and then after nun long period na wala talagang contraction. So kumbaga wala siyang pattern and yun nga, erratic siya. That's why pwedeng mahirapan yung patient na mag-rest or huminga effectively between contractions kasi nga merong pabago-bago kumbaga. Kaya sa nursing considerations natin, mag-a-apply tayo ng fetal and uterine external monitor. Syempre, mag-a-assess din tayo ng rate, ng pattern, resting tone, tsaka fetal response sa contraction for 15 minutes para ma-identify natin if abnormal nga yung pattern. And para din ma-stimulate natin yung contraction na talagang effective and consistent, pwede tayong mag-administer ng oxytocin. So that's all for my discussion. Thank you for listening and I hope you learned something. So my reference for my discussion is posted on the screen. You may read through the book for a more detailed explanation about the topic. Thank you so much!